and welcome to Focus on the Fun Stuff. My name is Emma Mills, and today I'm going to be talking about those situations where if you ever feel like you're doing lots of things and still falling behind. I'm sure many of you have been there. I've been there too. And it's not because we are just procrastinating or unorganized or bad at delegating. It's because we can all get some misconception sometimes about what getting support actually looks like. So after running my PA, a virtual PA business for the past 17 years, I thought, you know what, today I'm going to use this episode to bust the 5 biggest lies I think business owners have about getting help. The same lies that keep you overwhelmed, overworked, and under-supported. And they kind of come from different sources. And I think sometimes it's just good to go, actually, no, that's not how it is. And we're going to bust that today. So this is all based on the kinds of conversations I've had with prospects, I've had with clients, I've had with friends, about what they think actually getting support is. So let's clear the air, because I want you to finally win the week this week. And we're going to end the podcast with a strategy, with an action to go next week is going to be better than this week. So let's crack on. So these are the kinds of conversations I've been having with prospects, with clients, with friends, all about the offloading of work, delegation, outsourcing, whatever you want to call it. And actually in some of these instances, because people believe it must happen a certain way, they get burned by it and don't want to go down that path again. And then they get into the false mindset of, well, it's just quicker to do it myself. So lie number 1 is that delegating will instantly save you time. And it sounds amazing and dreamy, and you hand something off and bam, it's done. But the truth is that delegation is an upfront investment. There is always upfront. It's a bit like a savings account. Like you wouldn't expect to put no money into a savings account and end up with £10,000 at the end of the year. Delegation is the same. You have to invest a bit of time into it, because delegation will save you time. But first, it costs a bit of time to train, to build the relationship, to build trust. And in my experience, a lot of people quit or get scared right before the breakthrough of this relationship now being fantastic. And the long and short of it is that the beginning of a relationship, whether it's an employee, whether it's a virtual assistant, somebody in the Philippines, there is an upfront cost of some time to make sure that this relationship going forward is going to exponentially save you so much time. The upfront time is going to feel like an absolute no-brainer. And don't worry, I'm going to go into some strategies at the end to how you make sure all of this, the next person you work with, whatever mode that is, that the relationship starts off completely on the right foot and is a really long-term relationship. Lie number 2, and this one could be a tricky one for people maybe earlier in the journey, smaller businesses, cash flow is unpredictable. Maybe you're just kind of stressed of how you will hand over a lot of work. But lie number 2 is that you need a full-time person, a full-time assistant to make a real difference in your life or your business. And that is just not true. And that actually thinking that will stop lots of people from getting help, and it will slow them down. Again, they'll do it themselves. But you don't need 40 hours a week of someone's time. What you need is 3 hours of someone who knows exactly what they're doing. It's not about clocking hours. It's about making an outcome and an impact. And literally the science says that the average full-time employee is productive for about 2 hours and 53 minutes a day, which is very precise, I know. So the rest of the 8-hour day, I mean, if anybody's been in an office, even working from home, it can be lost to, procrastination, unnecessary meetings, just tiredness, not knowing what to focus on next. And so when people say, I need a full-time assistant, actually what you need is some focused time of really impactful hot work. Strategic part-time support, hyper-focused on the particular area you want to work on the part of your business. Like really strategic support is going to be so much more productive, and the output is going to be so much more impactful than just adding someone full-time to the business just because you think that is the only route forwards. Lie number 3 is a good one, especially for any entrepreneurs listening to this podcast who we all know we can make anything happen. We're great at everything a little bit. We can get shit done. And the lie is that you're just bad at delegating. And the thing is, this one makes me annoyed because you're not bad. You just haven't been shown how. Delegation is a skill. It's like any skill, like negotiation. It can be learned. That's why I created the productivity pad, which in the show notes you can get a link to download. It's a dead simple tool that shows you where your time's going and what to let go of first so that you have zero overwhelm and just clarity. So being able to see, because I know a lot of people will think, well, I just don't know where to start, and also I don't know how to hand it over. We can help show you. We can help show you what you shouldn't be spending your time on by using the productivity pad and a time audit. And we can also help you to delegate those tasks over. Because, it's not true that just going, I need help with X will make it happen. There's a few steps before it that's going to make it so that the person supporting you knows exactly what they're doing. And you're going to feel super in control that they know what good looks like. So we're going to bust that lie as well. 2 lies left. So lie number 4 is that you have to do it all before you can hand it over. That is not true. If every business owner did that, there would be no big successful businesses, because if you wait until it's perfect, you'll be waiting forever. And what we do is we get people that can help us free up our time so we can work in our zone of genius, and we get other people who love to do those things. So you don't have to get the thing right to pass it off. So the best thing is to start in the messy middle, whether it's recording a voice note, sharing your screen, doing a quick Loom video, doing a WhatsApp video. Done is better than perfect, and having the right person who's going to take it off you will be able to take the basics, run with it, and start to get it done, even if it's not perfect first. But don't you think about, oh my God, but I don't know how to get from A to Z, so I need to figure that out first, then create an amazing process. That is also a lie that is going to hold you back. And then the last lie, which is, it triggers me probably. It's that support equals admin. And this one does drive me nuts, because support isn't just about admin. It isn't about inbox zero and calendar wrangling. People also call it the low value task, the £10 task. Okay, I understand the image that those give, but ultimately it's getting support just isn't about those things. The right support in your life on the 3 hours a week helps you think. It gives you space to lead, to create, to rest, to breathe. It's about headspace. It's not about admin. That one really, if more people understood that it's not just about sending off the expenses to the accountant, it's actually buying some time back so that you can be and do what you were born to do, to focus on the fun stuff, to be in a state where you can lead and you do come up with good ideas. Because having a business where you're not focusing on the fun stuff and you just go, I'm just going to do it all myself, it doesn't lead to a good place. So those are my 5 lies busted. And I'm just going to take you through my 3-step process to make this all a lot easier. Because you might be thinking, well, okay, Emma, thanks for saying all of that, but where does that leave me now? So do I just start handing stuff off? What actually works? And my super simple 3-step system is the 3 L's. Just had lifestyle lean on before. That's 2 L's. This is 3 L's. It's a 3-step system I use with every new client that I chat to. So step number 1 is we log it. So we need to log your time and where it's spent. Use the productivity pad, use the online time tracking software you use. Hour by hour, what are you actually doing all day? Because awareness is step 1. It's not sexy. I know logging stuff to review later doesn't feel or sound like a good use of time, but believe me, if you are really in the place that you don't know where to start, just log it in your notebook, in your journal. Doesn't have to be super detailed, just from 8 till 6, whatever the time frame is, for 2 or 3 days where you spent your time on a normal day. Don't get me wrong, if you're traveling on the train or going to a meeting and that's an unusual thing, okay, that's not super helpful. But more of an average normal day, tracking where that time's been spent is like the gold to start pulling out of you all of the things that you shouldn't be doing, you don't want to do, you don't like to do, and so on. So tracking the time, so log it is number 1. So that is the do it. On the delegate it, again, let's keep it really simple. So I would put the things in this bucket that you either like you procrastinate on because you don't enjoy doing it. Maybe you don't quite know how to do it. You know, those things where it's like, oh, I really don't know what I'm doing, so I'm going to put that off to the back of the list because it's going to take a bit of brain power here. So in the delegate it, I would put anything that you don't enjoy, don't want to do, don't know how to do. And also, if you are fully in the mindset of, no, I'm freeing up some time, I'm getting this time back, I need to move on to bigger things, you'll also be aware of in the do it list, if there are things that you think, actually, anybody could do these for less than my hourly rate, whether it's in your inbox, whether it's more simpler admin, whether it's, just things that you think, actually, I know somebody else can do this, and I'm just lying to myself if I think it's the best use of my time. That's maybe a tiny bit more advanced. But in the delegate it, I would keep it simple to that. And in the automate it label, anything that is repeatable, has a similar same process behind it, is a high tick in the box to how do we automate this going forward. And the other thing is with this system, I don't need to think, but I don't know anything about automation. So I'm going to have to now start learning Zapier or Make, or it's not about that. It's actually just putting them into the buckets because this information we're going to use in the future. You might just start with with the delegate it bucket. The automate thing might be a future project once we've got all the delegate stuff happening. So, but automate it, anything that's repeatable, process-driven, happens weekly, monthly, that kind of thing, I'd label it in there to think about, okay, how do we actually make this even quicker and more efficient and automate it? Because there's somebody out there that loves to do that and knows how to do it. And step 3 of my 3Ls framework is launch it. And what that means is like start delegating with clarity. Now, obviously this podcast isn't going into the detail of who and how to use and find. Obviously at MyPA, we provide EA support on a virtual basis. Our team are based in Manchester, our model is that you're provided with a dedicated EA and that the team is always there for 100% resource, consistency. There is never any downtime. We've got skills and specialists who can help in different areas. There are also lots of different options, I understand, for different kinds of tasks. So let's say you have got someone or you're thinking about delegating. This episode is all about how to delegate. So step 3 is to launch it, which means we start delegating with clarity. And the clarity means that if you have no SOPs, so no standard operating procedures, no problem, because we're going to keep it really, really simple. And when you work with somebody that knows what they're doing, like if you sent in a voice note to my team or a scrappy video or a quick loom or like that is, to us, we're going to go, no problem, let us take it, let us pick what we can out of it, chat to you, pull the information out of your head. That is also a big win, working with someone that is able to just go, no problem, let me show you the way, let me pull out the information. But if you've got no standard processes whatsoever, keep it really simple. Prolific beats perfect. So use a voice note, use Loom, we've had clients who have written things like just bullet point list down, taken a picture and sent it across. The best thing is to get it out of your head and into someone else's hands, especially like when you work with us. We don't need an absolute 100% process from start to finish. It's just about getting it out there so we can start to move it along. Because I know that as a business owner or an entrepreneur, that will be a massive barrier to moving this thing forward, thinking that you have to create the process, thinking that you have to create the thing from scratch, because that's not what we started our businesses to do. It's not what we enjoy. So the best thing is to partner with someone that knows it and loves it. But definitely in terms of delegating, just get started with the very basics. Whatever's the easiest way for you to record and provide that info, get started with that. So if you've been feeling stuck, despite trying all these things, it's probably because you've got one of the initial lies in your head. And this week I have a challenge for you. I want you to do one thing. I would love you to pick one draining task, like something that you need to delegate, something in the, I don't like it, I don't want to do it, I don't enjoy it, I would love someone to take this off me. I want you to pick one thing and hand it off to whoever's in your team, to whoever you work with. If you don't have someone, it's possibly time for a chat. But I just want you to pick off one draining task and hand it off, because it's doing that week by week. Handing off one thing helps you to win the week. Like, literally, just imagine if we did just the one thing, and 52 weeks later, a year later, you've got 52 things off your list, from your time constraints, from you that you were spending time doing. It's the marginal gains. So for anybody that is believing the lies, that is scared of delegation, that thinks they've been burned before, that you just hand it off and everything goes immediately well, delegation is the most amazing thing the more you practice it, because you get confident, you get relationship and trust, and it helps you to win the week, which is what I'm here for. I'm passionate about how we make every 7 days a really good one, because it means you're going to win the year. So I hope this week's episode really helped you to get more clarity on, if you've been procrastinating on handing off some tasks, how you can get clearer on that. If you've got any other ways you like to tackle it, I'd love to know in the comments. And if you love a chat on actually how I'm going to get this stuff delegated off my list and who to, hit me up, because you know where I am. And I'll see you next week.